What up, everyone? It's your boy TRES, and today we will be making our official prediction for Flipped Up Ahon 15 Day 2. So first up, Harlem versus Katana. For Harlem battle experience, mas maraming ma-flex at mas may conviction yung mga selfie bars ni Harlem dahil sa pagiging old god. So yung longevity, it's going to be a factor in here. He has a more technical writing din dahil nga sa lawak ng reference game talaga ni Harlem. Like yung battle na ni Zandlook. To this day, a lot of people still believes nga kay Harlem nga daw yon because of those reasons. And his comfortability to switch from comedy and bars, magiging edge din in terms of depth ng ipepresent na material. We saw this sa battle niya with Elvis. Kay Katana naman, mas fresh yung ideas and yung atake ng comedy niya. Magaling din yung napipiling angulo ni Katana sa mga nakakalaban niya. And I also like yung feel niya in terms of round placement, no? Underrated yan. Meaning, nai-structure niya ng tama yung timpla ng material. Which writing should go first round, second round, and which one should go the third round. Now, with that being said, I would go with Harlem on this. I think yung battle experience and battle IQ ni Harlem will be the key on this. Dahil para sa akin lang naman to, no? Mas malawak yung naaabot ng writings niya and mas maraming weapons si Harlem na kayang i-pull out to get the victory. If you guys would notice, mas madalas ang talo ni Harlem sa mga pure technical writers, no? Pag comedian, medyo naghahabol talaga sila ng sulat ni Harlem. Now, on the second matchup, Poison 13 versus Goryong Talas. For Poison 13, very adaptable yung writing style niya. Mas maraming element yung nagagamit niya and mas maraming facade yung material niya. Ibig sabihin, mas maraming muka. So, he can connect with the crowd and the judges easily. He has a very unique playstyle na hindi pwedeng well-rounded ka lang to match up with it. Kailangan talagang distinct yung pen game mo para ma-overthrow o ma-overcome mo yung material na ipepresent ni Poison 13. Now, for Goryong Talas, maganda talaga yung quality ng mga punchline ni Goryong Talas. Haymakers talaga. It's a given trademark ng Uprising, di ba? Yung crisp yung mga wordplays and hindi lang siya basta wordplay pilit. Talagang siksik at magaganda yung meaning ng mga wordplay niya. A good reference here is yung Isabuhay Finals performance ni Goryong Talas and yung battle nila ni Tipsy D during sa 1 minute. It's a good reference to check. Magaling din mag-present ng argument siguro yung Talas and underrated paano siya pumunto. Yan yung mga strengths na gusto ko kay Goryong Talas. Now, my pick on this battle, I'm gonna have to go with Poison 13. Para sa akin, yung Poison 13 simply because I see more ways for Poison 13 winning this than Goryong Talas. He can write and land a good bars, entertaining comedic lines, and he has the edge in terms of overall presentation. Yan yung theatrics, yung mga delivery na tunog batas, di ba? Yung speed rap, multi, and yung panggagaya ng style, yan. While si Goryong Talas, medyo one-dimensional yung kanyang presentation. So I think in terms of variety na pwedeng i-offer dito sa battle na to, I'm gonna have to go with Poison 13. Now, Jonas versus Zandlook. Now, kay Jonas, mas entertaining yung material ni Jonas. So, he is easily the crowd favorite on this one. Very creative din yung comedic angles niya. Plus, yung storytelling ni Jonas is very unique to him. Kay Zandlook naman, mas technical of course, yung content ng sulat niya. I also like yung changes and improvement that he has shown us. Yung multi-rhyme schemes, and you can see he has grown a lot in terms of his overall demeanor. Mas may angas na talaga mag-spit si Zandlook ngayon sa battle. A good reference to that is yung recent win niya, di ba? Over kay MZite. Now, whom am I gonna go for sa battle na to? I know this is going to be an uphill battle, pero I'm gonna go with Jonas simply because I'm a sucker for comic genius. I really like talaga yung mga komedyante that are very technical in terms of their comedy and merong sariling distinction yung kanilang style of comedy. I know that this will be an uphill battle for him, but I will go with Jonas. Zandlook normally starts low. Second round is where he picks up the face, and third round is where he goes for the kill. While Jonas naman starts hot, di ba? He fronts load his first two rounds. First two rounds talaga yung mga malalakas na round ni Jonas, and then yung third round, yun na yung medyo mahina. Another thing is his momentum, no? Hiya ako mag-Jonas dito. Seeing Jonas's latest winning streak, I think he is more comfortable and confident in performing his material, thus can match up with Zenlok's new battle demeanor. Yun nga, yung angas niya. Again, it will be a tough one for Jonas, and I won't even be surprised kung manalo dito si Zenlok. Pero, personal lang to, na choice. I'm gonna have to go with Jonas. Now, next battle, Casper Hespero and Atoms Cygnus, no? Sorry, guys, I can't really share on this because truthfully, I have not seen Atoms and Cygnus battles. Hindi pa ako nakapanood or hindi ko pa sila narinig. So, forgive me for that stupidity, no? I'm not very familiar with them, with what they bring to the table. So, I think it would be unfair. Compared kay Casper at Hespero, I've seen them live, I've heard them, I've met Casper personally. Pinakilala siya sa akin ni Mzite. So, yeah, it will be unfair. So, doon naman tayo sa Husky versus Batang Rebelde. Okay, Husky, he has the comedy X factor talaga, no? His comedic approach is flawless. Yung trademark niya na comedy is sarcasm talaga, di ba? So, he can connect and command the crowd effortlessly. Great comedic storytelling plus yung element of surprise. Yan, huwag natin kakalimutan yan. We have to somehow anticipate yun. Dahil ahon nito eh. So, this is the event. So, syempre, ibubuhos lahat ng MC. And, di ba, si Hentai Kamen ba yun? O yung character ni Husky. So, hindi bago kay Husky yung magpe-present siya ng pasabog. So, I think that's something to look out for. Kay BR naman, kay Batang Rebelde, mabait din sa akin to. I would say he has the slight edge in terms of pen game. Nakita natin yan sa battle nila ni Tipsy D, which almost everyone agreed that it was very close. Imagine guys, Tipsy D yun, tapos close fight. So, that is a testament sa kanyang writing, sa kanyang pen game. He also has the advantage sa pananaw ko sa angle department. Plus, he can comfortably score both in jokes and bars. So, this one is very tough for me kasi I think BR has more ways to score and win the round. Okay, the round over Husky. But I cannot overlook yung element of surprise from Husky. So, I personally think that Husky is more entertaining. Hence, he has the edge on the comedic department pero mas huwabe yung combination ng bars and jokes naman ni BR Pamuntos. So, on this one, toss up ako. I'm a sucker for comedy. I would love for Husky to win. Pero, my mind tells me na papalag din talaga ito si BR. So, I cannot really comfortably say na this was going to be Husky or this is going to be BR dahil nga sa element of surprise na kayang dalhin ng isang Husky. Now, let's go on sa ating three-way battle. Ayan. Fruz versus Mzite muna tayo. I think Fruz has the edge in terms of rap skills. He also has the entertainment value dahil very effective naman talaga yung presentation ni Fruz, no? How he seamlessly blend yung speed rap, multi, rhyme schemes, and yung melodic rapping. Diba may tono when he spits. I like that. Also, he has unpredictable lines and angles. That one thing people do not commonly recognize from him. Yung element of unpredictability. Minsan may maririnig tayo ng mga napaka-unpredictable na linya at mga angulo na ano yun, saan lang galing yun. But effective. Pag si Fruz yung gumamit, hindi tunog chapsoy or hindi tunog naligaw. Kaya Mzite naman, Mzite is really one of the heavyweights right now, no? It's very hard to criticize yung game ngayon ni Mzite kasi yung pagiging heavyweight niya, that is unquestionable, especially with how he has been performing lately. His play style is very effective kasi it is really battle fitting. Kinostomize niya talaga yun pang battle. Maganda yung quality din ng mga lines ni Mzite. Siksik yung material niya in terms of bars, personals, real talk, element of surprise. Yung element of surprise, sabi niyo, kailan yun? Yung ginawa niya sa battle ni Marshall, diba? Yung sabi niya, okay, kita mo, para matuloy lang yung laban, kailangan pa akong tulak ni Enigma. That's element of surprise. So, yung mga ganon, may mga ganong element sa material ni Mzite na you cannot overlook. And syempre, yung punto, magandang pumunto si Mzite. Very seamless din yung thought progression ng kanyang mga linya. Sa battle na to, na Mzite versus Fruz, I just think I'm gonna have to go with Mzite, okay? Ito, opinion ko lang to. I just think that the gap between Mzite and Fruz in terms of overall pen game is at a wide margin right now, no? Dahil nga sa bagong playstyle ni Mzite. Though I'm not saying that it will be a cakewalk for Mzite, I'm just saying that if I list down all major category or factors in judging a rap battle, Mzite would always come out na mas matimbang sa mga ano na yun, categories. I know some would say na well, tinalo siya ni Zendlock, ano sinasabi mo, di ba? Tinalo siya last time. That is a very valid point, and I don't want to sound an apologist for Mzite, but in my opinion lang ha, and I could be wrong about it kasi napag-usapan na din naman namin Mzite to, he experimented a little too much on that battle, which I know 100% he wouldn't do this time. Hindi ibibigay ni Mzite yung back-to-back na talo without giving a good fight. Lalo ahon to. Ngayon, moving forward naman, eto, yung second battle, dun sa three-way battle, Tipsy D versus Mzite. Okay. Tipsy D, I think he is the most charismatic among the three itong sa three-way battle. And he will come out as the crowd favorite talaga on this battle. Dahil number one, yung longing ng tao for him. Dahil medyo matagal siyang nawala eh. And secondly, syempre yung recency bias ng tao, lalo nanalo si Sinyo over Shernan. So automatically, the crowd will be more sensitive sa mga lines niya. I also think that he has the biggest haymakers among them three. So, meaning siya may pinakamalakas na suntok sa kanilang tatlo. And his material is very versatile in terms of muka or yung presentation or yung content. Napaka-versatile talaga ng material ni Tipsy D. Hindi natin kayang i-argue. But to me, the biggest factor dito is yung pahinga. Kasi he has a one day na pahinga before laban kay Mzite. Diba? Day 1 sila ni Fruit, tapos day 2 yung sa alam ni Mzite. So he can, he will be coming off fresh. Diba? Sa battle na ni Mzite. May time pa siya i-rehearse ulit yung mga lines niya and makorek ano man yung mga makikita niyang hindi effective na gagawin niya. Dahil meron siyang live na evaluation from the first day. 80 to 90% of the time, yung mga tao sa second day, yun din naman yung mga tao nung first day, di ba? So, may advanced connection na kaagad siya sa crowd going to this battle laban kay Mzite. So, alam na niya agad ano bang gusto at hindi gusto ng mga tao from him. Right? Meron na kaagad siyang live evaluation nga, no? From the first day nung event. Ngayon kay Mzite naman, it will be a tough match-up talaga. I wouldn't say na yung gap between Mzite and Tipsy is napakalaki. Honestly, hindi siya madali for Mzite. Hindi lang dahil talagang magaling si Tipsy D, for the same reason na sinabi kong yung biggest advantage ni Tipsy D, yun din naman yung biggest factor na disadvantage na I personally think laban kay Mzite. Yun yung factor na back-to-back yung laban niya. Now the question, can he do that? I know and I believe he can do that. But reality is, hindi siya madali. Right? Kasi, dyan papasok yung baka mag-stutter, baka magpalit-palit yung sulat, or worse, baka mag-choke pa dahil nga, baka malito. Now, in terms of their overall playstyle, I believe that Mzite has tighter pen game. Para sa akin, masiksik yung mga sulat at bara ni Mzite. Hindi po galing sa akin yung basis na yan, galing po kay Looney yan. Sabi ni Looney, if there's one thing na i-criticize niya si Tipsy is what? Masyadong mahaba daw, 'di ba, yung setup. Kaya humihina yung punchline. That is something na I think si Mzite may advantage. Mas siksik, mas maiksi yung mga setup niya at mas tuloy-tuloy, 'di ba, yung punto at saka yung punchlines niya pagdating sa sulat. I also believe that he has edge over elements that he can effectively use laban kay Tipsy. Like yung personals and yung presentation of argument or punto. No, si Tipsy hindi siya masyadong kilala, 'di ba, pagdating sa real talk, personals or yung mga punto. Talagang ang forte ni Tipsy is wordplay, bars, rhyme scheme, yung mga ganon. Ito namang sinasabi ko na edge ni Mzite, no, in terms of personals, presentation, and argument or punto. Nakita natin gaano kalakas yan i-utilize ni Mzite sa laban nila ni Apex. Right, sa PSP. So, it's a good reference on that and evidence. I also believe na hindi mag-e-experiment dito si Mzite. Rather, maninigurado talaga ito. Why? Kasi he has he has a chip on his shoulder. Ano yun? Si Shernan si Shernan yung nagkiklaim na nag-champion sa 2x2 mag-isa. Diba? Tapos natalo kay Sinyo. Siyempre, this will be a proving point ni MZ subtly dahil medyo hindi sila okay ni Shernan kung sino ba talaga yung nagpanalo sa kanila. And yung win over Tipsy is, for me lang, mas mabigat siya in terms of battle rap credibility dahil yes, mas charismatic at mas marami talagang fans, no, ang isang Sinyo, no, mas popular, but in terms of writing, di ba, mas mabigat talaga yung sulat ni Tipsy. So it's going to be a good proving ground or proving point para kay MZ. So I know we can expect a surefire fight between Tipsy and MZ. This is so evenly matched up, at least para sa akin. Isang kailangan i-keep up yung momentum para sa team nila, which is si Tipsy, at isang kailangan bumawi, yun naman si MZ. Dahil sa talo niya recently, at syempre natalo din si Shernan, no? Isang charismatic sa stage, which is si Tipsy, at isang napakaangas sa stage, which is si MZ. Isang siksik bumara si MZ, at isang may knockout lines, which is si Tipsy. Isang dati ng malakas si Tipsy D, at isang in his prime, which is si MZ. So, with all that being said, I will go with MZ. Ayan. I believe that his newly adapted playstyle is truly battle-fitting in this current weather. One factor to that is dahil si MZ, as we all know, mas close in siya sa rap talaga ngayon, di ba? While si Tipsy naman, more sa kanyang cooking and sa side hustles, no? So, kaya sa opinion ko lang naman to sa opinion ko lang to, and I could be wrong and I have no problem being wrong kung manalo man si Tipsy, hooray, panalo pa rin tayong lahat, no? Sa opinion ko, mas maraming ways niya ni MZ kayang pumuntos kay Tipsy. At mas meron siyang dapat patunayan sa kanila, kumbaga yung gigel, no? Kaya dahil truth of the matter is sa battle na to, underdog talaga sa MZ. So MZ ako dito yung gigil. And syempre, to me, as a friend, kaibigan ko yan si MZ. So, I know, bias ako on that side, but loyalty yun, no? Kaibigan ko yan si MZ. So, summary, para sa akin itong three-way battle na to, sa kanilang tatlo, si Fruz yung pinakamagaling mag-present, si Tipsy naman yung may pinakamalalakas na punchline, si MZ naman yung pinakasiksik sumulat sa kanilang tatlo. Again, now let's go on sa Isabuhay Finals or yung main event ng Day 2. Kay GL, I think mas artistic and creative si GL in his material. Mas advanced din yung playstyle and writing technicalities ni GL. Mas elegante and better quality yung mga lines and angles or concepts ni GL. And this is not only according to me. Ang pumunto nito or nakapansin nito, number one was si Balakid. Kilala naman natin si Balakid pagdating sa linyahan, di ba? Medyo mataas talaga yung standards niya. So for Balakid to say this kay GL, it's a very good compliment, no? Taas na pagkilala. And another factor is yung psychological play-in na ginagawa ni GL sa mga battle niya, no? I think that is something na hindi masyadong nabibigyan ng pansin, but has to be recognized. Kay Vitrum naman, okay, I would say that with his recent performance, he is in the upper hand right now. Siya talaga yung llamado dito sa battle na to. He is the more crowd favorite ngayon kasi nga yung underdog effect. Diba? Yung underdog effect. Dahil si Slack 1 naman talaga yung considered na dark horse ng tournament eh. And tinalo niya si Slack 1. So, the same sympathy carries over. So, yung sympathy para kay Slack 1, napunta na sa kanya. Yung mga fans ni Slack 1, napunta na sa kanya. Dahil everybody was really surprised, diba, nung yung performance ni Slack 1 kay Rafian. So everybody was like, even si Shernan, sinabi niya, excited para sa Slack 1 of GL versus Slack 1, tinalo ni Vitrum. So yung sympathy, no, automatic po yon, lilipat. So I would suggest to use kay Vitrum, I would suggest or I expect kay Vitrum to use that crowd leanings to the fullest. Alam kong sasagadin ni Vitrum yung paggamit ng yung momentum, no, yung pagiging crowd favorite, sasagadin niya yung gagamitin talaga niya yung crowd, nararamdaman ko. And his aggressive no holds bar kind of approach is also the perfect match up sa well-measured na material and approach ni GL. I think he also has the advantage in terms of presentation kasi makikita natin yung overall demeanor ni Vitrum, di ba? Si GL medyo mahihain, medyo ganun-ganun lang. Kailangan pang uminit, mga third round pa para medyo magkaroon ng angas si GL. Si Vitrum right off the gate, talagang ganun na. Yun yung nakita natin, di ba? Yung kanyang theatrics, yung movement, yung delivery, talagang lahat big moves. Now, with all that being said, I personally think kay GL ito. Ayan. To me, I think that GL's toughest test in this entire tournament was EJ Power. Sa pananaw ko lang naman yun. And he was able to overcome all the things EJ Power brought to the table. So, para sa akin, sa opinion ko, if he can overthrow or manalo, ma-withstand yung storm na kaya dali ng isang EJ Power sa kanya, he can also do that kay Vitrum. Though, not to belittle, hindi ko minamalit si Vitrum, I just personally think that if we are to compartmentalize every major factor in this championship, I think GL would tick most, if not all, the boxes of what are the categories needed to win this tournament. Sa pananaw ko lang naman po yun. Kasi para sa akin lang ito, again, artistically and creatively, mas mahirap yung ginagawang technical writing and concept plus psychological priming ni GL para sa akin. So, in my own opinion, mas nai-impress ako doon sa playstyle ni GL. I'm not saying na hindi mahirap or hindi impressive yung playstyle yung ginagawa ni Vit. Hindi ko sinasabing mahina yan. What I'm saying is mas lang yung kay GL para sa akin. Pananaw ko lang naman po yun. So, if you're going to ask me what's my main basis of that, this is a food for thought for everyone, I put it in the comment section, Food for thought. Let's share our knowledge dito, ng ating thoughts or insight. Just looking at the evidence available, okay, hindi futuristic kumbaga yung mga ebidensya na meron tayo. People are carried away sa victory ni Vitrum over sa victory ni GL kasi nga sensational yung victory ni Vitrum. Why? Again, because he was the underdog against Lakuan. Especially sa pinakitang performance ni Lakuan against kay Rafian. So, nandun yung underdog phenomenon talaga. Ngayon, if I am to be objective, nakita natin lahat na yung panalo, GL's win was a hard-fought battle kay EJ. And naipanalo niya. Yung iba nga, di ba, 1-2 daw kay EJ. Tapos, kung hindi lang dahil dun sa timeless na line na ender sa third round, hindi mananalo si GL. Kumbaga talagang nick of time. Hairline difference lang. Yung isang linya lang daw yung pagitan ng panalo ni GL kay EJ. And I don't argue with that. Talagang I believe that too. It was really a close fight. So, it was a hard-fought battle yung naipanalo ni GL. While kay Vitrum, it was a one-sided ass whooping. Bakit? Dahil nag-choke si Lakuan. Okay? Now, we have to remember that. Ngayon, the question is, again, food for thought lang po ito. Hindi ko po minamaliit si Vitrum at hindi ko po kino-question yung ang pagkapanalo niya or yung mga judges na bumoto sa kanya. Dahil ako mismo, gumawa po ako ng review. Talagang kay Vitrum yun. This is just food for thought. Question I would like to present, would we still feel the same way or would the result be the same kung naspit ng malinis ni Lakuan yung material niya? Katulad kung paano naspit ni EJ yung material niya. That we will never know, right? We will never know. It's just a food for thought. This is my heavy consideration, kaya po ako nag-GL. So I believe it would be a very good argument or punto na pwedeng i-exploit ni GL laban kay Vitrum, di ba? Sa laban he can frame or pwede niya i-frame sa mga tao na yung naging finals run ni Vitrum dahil lang nag-choke si Lakuan. Right? So, it will be a question of credibility. Because like, announcement pa lang announcement pa lang. Expected na agad ng mga tao si GL for the finals, right? I'm sure you had that same feeling as well nung in-announce ni Enigma yung lineup for Isabuhay. Alam mo kaagad, si GL, na yan, pa-finals kaagad yan. Si Vitrum. In-expect nyo ba na siya yung mag-aano dun sa kabila? Kung meron man, I'm sure very few, no? Not as dominant as yung resounding sound sa pangalan ni GL for the finals. So, pwedeng palabasin, or dito sa argument na to, pwedeng lumabas na while GL had to work harder, fought harder battles, bigger names, while he has to carry that load of burden to perform at the best dahil nga sa high expectation ng mga tao, si Vitrum lalabas na parang chamba yung kanyang finals run. Nagigets nyo? Parang ganon. So, to me, it's a good food for thought. So, para sa inyo, sinong mananig? Yung bida ba nitong tournament or yung kontrabida ng Flip Top? That's it for me. My official picks nga pala, nakalimutan kong sabihin to sa first video natin. So, sa day 1, Zaki 30, Zaki ako doon. Rafian, Saint Ice, I'm gonna have to go with Saint Ice. Zaki, okay, explain ko lang konti. Kay Zaki ako doon dahil feeling ko malaking advantage talaga yung pagiging household name ni Zaki sa Flip Top. And I think yung haymakers ni Zaki is more than enough para magkaroon siya ng mga quotables or remarkable lines per round. At least to me, I know 30 is getting there, but I don't think na yung lakas ng mga punchlines na pwedeng i-produce ni 30 is as big as Zaki can produce. Pananaw ko lang yan. Rafian, Saint Ice, I believe kay Saint Ice mas marami kasing variety na kayang laruin si Saint Ice, lalo kung maninigurado siya dito. I think mas maraming element mas maraming muka yung kaya niyang laruin sa material niya dito sa laban nila ni Rafian. As per Rafian, sabi nga nung iba, kung hindi daw masyado mahaba round ni Rafian, marami daw dry spot. Sabi na iba. Manda Baliw, Mirage, I may have to go with Mirage. Mas gusto ko yung style of comedy niya. Para sa akin, mas structured at yung kanyang sulat, and mas technical in terms of writing, in terms of presentation, and in terms of progression, no, yung overall material niya. Also to mention na si Mirage po, he started off na talagang technical writer before siya maging komedyante. So na-apply niya yung same philosophy ng pagsusulat ng technical sa comedy. So you can imagine talaga yung style of comedy niya is technical comedy. So I like it. Slack 1 K-Ram, I'm gonna have to go Cripply Topper, Slack 1 K-Ram, I'm gonna have to go Slack 1 and K-Ram simply because it's been a while since bumata sa Topher. So I have no or very little information kung ano bang kayang ipakita sa atin ng isang Topher. So Lip Cram Sayad, I'm gonna have to I know na heavily favored dito si Lip Cram, pero para sa akin I'm gonna have to go with Sayad dahil para sa akin lang naman to yung ceiling ng potential ng kanilang sulat o pwede lang i-perform is mas mataas kay Sayad. Again, we can expect, nakita na natin yung yung fullness ng kayang i-produce ng isang Sayad. Yung laban niya IGL, sabi nga ni Looney, perfect round. So, kung kayang mag-produce ng ganung Sayad, di ba? Imagine niyo 1, 2 or 3 all 3 rounds, ganon. So, I think para lang naman sa akin to, mas malaking chances of Lepcram winning this dahil yung momentum, again, Lepcram is the last person to beat GL na nasa final. So that's nothing to take lightly. Pero for me, I'm go with Sayad simply because of that potential ng kaya niyang i-produce o sulat. Of course, I'm always hoping for the best sa mga battle MCs natin. Shernan Pistolero, I'm gonna have to go with Pistol. I think si Shernan is trying to build a new image or trying to carve himself sa Battle League or sa roster or sa battle rap battle itself into a new person. Alam niyo yun, bumubuo siya ng new character. So he's still not quite there yet in terms of ano bang gusto niya. Kasi maski ikaw, hindi natin alam kung ano bang expect natin kay Shernan Ano ba, magte-technical writing ba siya dito? Magbabars ba siya dito? And all that. So, kung ganun man, I think si Pistol has an edge on that dahil not only that he's isa buhay champion, but yung kanyang usage o yung exposure niya sa mga nakalabang technical, 'di ba? Si Lamot, just to name a few. is mas ano yung kanyang experience o yung exposure, mas handa siguro, I would say, siya sa ganong klase ng kalaban. So I'm gonna have to go with Pistol. Fruits Tipsy D, again, I'm gonna have to go with Tipsy D. I think, just as I said kay Mzite, laban kay Fruits, para sa akin, Fruits has a better presentation, pero yung overall content at saka yung gap in terms of yung kanilang skill-wise talaga, sa pagdating sa battle rap, hindi sa pagra-rap, sa battle rap I think obvious yung gap pagdating sa kayang ipakita or ilabas ng isang Tipsy D. Again, sino bang mga nakalaban ni Tipsy D, right? At sino bang mga nakalaban ni Fru. So, I think that's a good consideration. Now, Shehi, EJ Power, as wonderful as and powerful yung recent performance ni EJ Power, I'm gonna have to go with Shehi. Simply because if there's one factor na I can think of right now is yung experience talaga. Si Shehi hindi na bago sa kanyang lumaban ng main event, hindi na bago sa kanyang lumaban ng big names, hindi na bago sa kanyang lumaban ng mga old gods, hindi na bago lumaban kay Shehi ng talagang hard-fought battle. So, yung hugot ng material, yung kaya niyang gawin, yung pwede nating i-expect kay Shehi is established na, alam niyo yun, yung mga tinalo ni Shehi, no? Though kay EJ, he's still not quite there yet. This is a good proving point para sa kanya dahil pag tinignan din natin yung history ni EJ battling yung mga big names talaga ng mga kalidad nila Tipsy D, nila Shehi, medyo hindi pa maganda yung standing niya doon. Ano yun? Pero ako I expect na papahirapan ni EJ Power si Shehi. I am just more comfortable na iboto si Shehi just because of that experience. Mas sanay siyang at mas alam niya at mas komportable siya kung how it looks like, ano yung gumagana, ano yung hindi gumagana sa ganito kalaking klase ng laban. I hope you enjoyed this one. Put in the comment section yung sarili yung thoughts and insight. I love you all. Peace out. Mwah!